Hey guys, this is Devin Osborne here, and we are starting episode 1 of Storytime with Devin. Check it out. Hey guys, so this is Devin Osborne, as many of you may know already, and I am popping in here on your news feed wherever you're at, and I am excited to be with you guys for a day on this cold, wintry Friday night in Quincy, Illinois. What we're trying to do here and what I'm trying to do was something I've been wanting to do for quite a while. So I'm glad that if you're watching right now, you're part of the first episode of this journey. We'll see how long it lasts. Hopefully I can make it last a little bit. But honestly, I don't have the time for this, and that's why I haven't done it before. But I'm trying to make the time right now, even though the Lord knows I don't have any time for it. I'd still love to get in on it. So really what we want to do here is I just want to take you along the journey with us, something I've been wanting to do for a long time. Our fan base is really close following with this. We're all about family here. We're all about connection. We're all about people, and that's what we want to be more and more about. So the most that I can take you and grab your hand and pull you through this with us, the better, because I really do. I've created some great friends over the years, as well as my parents. Us as a business, we've as a team, we've all created some great friends in the business, and we appreciate seeing all your guys' faces, all your comments, all your questions, concerns. It's really great to be a part of this community and just live with y'all and walk through life with y'all. So we're happy to be in yours, and hopefully you're happy to be in ours. So, but with that being said, really, just to summarize again, what I want to do here is show you guys the behind-the-scenes, real, family-owned, family-operated, daily operations, kind of how we do this thing as a small business, one of the toughest things out there in the business world. We kind of want to show you guys what that is, what that means. In Corona 2020, it has been exposing for a lot of people to realize what that means, not only in the restaurant industry, but just as a business as a whole. So we want to kind of take you all and walk down that journey with us. Hopefully you'll join us. So hopefully going to release maybe 1-2 a week. I'm not sure. We'll see the bandwidth I got. I do all this stuff myself. I shoot it, I cut it, I edit it, post it, paste it, copy it, send it, all of it. So, yeah, this is it. But anyway, the story I'm going to tell you all today is actually fairly recent, so you all are in luck. This is actually pretty relevant. And this just happened maybe a couple weeks ago, if that. So the past couple weeks for us really just been super busy. As many of you might drive by or something, and you see us, I drive through, it's usually rocking pretty hard. Christmas time, holiday time, super slammed. Our Thanksgiving orders today, this year we had record-breaking orders, putting them all out through the window as much as we could. And for the most part, most of it went off without a hitch. And we try and run everything super lean with our team, but sometimes a little bit of stuff got away from us. But we try and keep it nailed down, locked and loaded. So if you join us for that, we really appreciate it. But that was a big event for us, always is. We put out hundreds of orders in 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, before Thanksgiving. So that means we got to have thousands of pounds of meat ready before those days and ready to put in your hands for that holiday to make your day special. If you did get that, if you do me a favor, if you will comment somewhere on Facebook, on this post even, that would be great, down in the comments right there. I would love to hear how y'all's Thanksgiving was, how your dinner was. That's a big thing, and we appreciate everybody that has gotten meals. So we're always also tweaking and improving whatever we can do to make it better. So year after year, we're always, trying to make stuff better, changing up seasonings, rubs, whatever, needs to do, flavoring, time, anything we can do to make it better. So please drop a comment. Let us know how that was, and we'll appreciate it. But other than that, as a business, as a restaurant, we're a barbecue restaurant. So what we do, we work 24/7 essentially on the grill, on the smoker. Our smoker runs pretty much all day, every day. with the exception of whenever we close for a longer period of time. But other than that, we're pretty much always on it. And smoker's a vital part of our business, just as a fryer is to, your typical average restaurant. But what that means is for us is that we can't just have we can't just smoke a rack of ribs in 20 minutes, pull it off the smoker and put it in front of you. We can have that stuff, we're preparing that stuff a day ahead of time so that we can get it to you on your plate coming off the grill that day at about that time when you come through, whether that be at lunch or at dinner. We're always moving and shifting times in order to put this out for you guys. So needless to say, our operations here at Fatbacks run extremely lean, and we're always doing things to optimize and improve and make them faster, better. And we try and run things without too much of a hiccup or a hitch, because that'll catch us up. And next thing you know, we're kind of in the gutter. But overall, it's busy time, and we try and stay busy. That's what we like. So, but with that being said, you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's going to fall on you. You never know when you're going to get slammed. You never know when you're going to get 44 phone calls within an hour. Your online ordering is going to crash. You never know when you're going to send out the wrong pan with the wrong person. So stuff happens. And what happened a couple weeks ago, or I guess about a week and a half ago at this point, was the exact thing that would set you back when you don't need it. But the smoker broke. Yeah. I mean, pretty plain and simple, the smoker broke. So I believe it was 6 o'clock in the morning. My dad does his annual, or his typical morning checks. He comes up, puts some meat on, flips whatever, wraps, and, changes it around. And he gets here, checks the smoker. Random nights cooked. Next morning, nothing's blowing out of the smoker. It's kind of locked up. And essentially the meat times were way off. Not even close to being done. Now we're missing deadlines. Now 11 o'clock's coming. It's approaching way too fast. And it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and he's got to diagnose this problem and figure out what the heck's going on. So, needless to say, being one man up here, he's not only got to get his normal task done, it just derails the entire day. So, he starts diagnosing that. And anyway, we ended up figuring it out later that day. We orchestrated the parts, figured out that it was going to be, we couldn't get the part in town. It's got to be shipped from Tennessee or St. Louis, one of the two. So it's going to be a 3-day minimum before we could even get that part. So what this does for us completely changes our entire cooking process, takes our times, and extends them by another 6 to 10 hours of cooking just in order to get this done. And so something like this completely destroyed our whole operations workflow. Set Connor, he works in the back. He's set him completely off. Luckily, we were able to somehow continue to maintain and, proceed through it. But completely derail our life. We're working way more extra hours. We're coming up way later, earlier, the whole thing. And it happens. I mean, it just happens. However, as you will see later, there was a little parlay to this. There's a little bit of a difference. We'll get to that later. But anyway, a few days later, after, brisket's cooking for 20, 24 hours at a time sometimes, we're looking at trying to get the smokers fixed as fast as possible. I'm checking the tracking code. I'm checking it every day. Mad respect to all you UPS workers, USPS workers, FedEx workers. We really appreciate what y'all do. Nobody wants to walk out in this cold weather and rain all the time, so props to y'all. I sure wouldn't. It's a big job. It's a big duty. But on this day in particular, what happened was the exact thing that nobody would want to happen, which is it's supposed to show up. It's out for delivery. Everybody sees that little notification. Your package is out for delivery. It sounds great. You're like, all right, sweet. My normal shipping time or my normal drop-off time is typically about noon. So you think, oh, you got plenty of time. Well, on a day like today, only when you need something, of course, on a Friday, you need it as fast as possible. Does the shipping time get delayed? later and later and later and later. So I'm checking back all day long, checking. Nothing. Nobody's there. Nothing. No boxes have come. 2 other orders. I don't even know how this works for like UPS, but like I got like 2 other shipments of packages during the day, and I still hadn't gotten the package I needed for the fan. And sure enough, about 7:30 that night, I go back home and check, and the package literally had just have gotten there because I had just left from home about 20 minutes before that. Package gets there, and finally, 8 o'clock at night, I'm ripping apart the smoker just to put it back in. We needed it for that night, especially, and the next day because we had a lot of stuff going out. We were behind. So that's the nature of a small business. You're always scrambling. You're always fighting to do whatever you need to do to get it done. You don't have time to call people. You don't have the money to call people. You just do what you got to do, and that's how you do it. You're always putting out fires, and that's what we do here, and that's kind of how it goes. But we finally get the cooking process. We get it installed. We get everything put together again, fired up. Luckily, the whole thing's working. I mean, during this time, we're pretty much kind of running out of stuff. Unfortunately, we try not to run out. It's very hard. Again, we cook a day. We got to plan a day in advance for this, so it's not too easy all the time just to predict, and we can't have it all on hand always. But we're running out of food. Get the fan back on. We're good to go as far as the next day's cook. But looking at it a little more, trying to figure out still, is the part the right size or the wrong size? What's going on? So eventually, I still, to this night, tomorrow we got to really fix it for sure. But we're figuring it out. So luckily, we got the right part to some extent. It works. It's the right thing. Everything's going good. Our cook times are getting better. Team's back on the schedule. We're narrowing down things. We're going through quality checks, quantity check. That's what you got to do. You got to get your operations back to status quo. You got to get everybody back in the swing of things. We got a big holiday season coming up. Christmas time is always big, and so we got a lot of stuff to put out, and it's important that we get it. So, that's really what we got. Where you got to rectify the cooking process. You just got to juggle the balls that are handed to you, and you can't really pick sometimes. So some of them drop, some of them don't. And really what we're doing now we're just planning for what the future looks like of the smoker breaking. We've been running that thing for over 8 years, and that's what I was telling my dad a few weeks ago. Yeah, a couple months ago, actually. My mom and I have been on him about fixing the smoker before it even needs to be fixed. So there's a couple things on there that are like crucial, important, kind of like the fan that just went out, and they're things that we can buy ahead of time, plan for, and that way we don't have to deal with the consequence of what just happened. Because if something like that would have happened a week prior during Thanksgiving, we'd have been making a 3 to 5 hour drive somewhere to buy a fan immediately and come back and put it on, because it's just, again, that important. Sometimes you don't have those choices. Luckily, we had a little bit of leeway where we figured out we could make this work, but that's not it. So, all that being said, I guess you can wind this up. You can wrap it up. I mean, be honest, you can wrap it up and put this all on my dad, Donnie. It's pretty much all his fault. My mom and I told him 2 to 3 months ago, multiple times, like big emphasis at this point, you know how you can drive a car for your oil light comes on, yeah, I need to change the oil. But then you go a couple thousand more miles and you're like, yeah, or I guess a couple hundred more miles, and you say, yeah, it's okay. It's going to be all right. I'll get to it. You go about 1,000 miles and you're like, yeah, I really need to get to it. But then you go about 2,000 more miles and you're like, wait a second. Yeah, I really do need to change this oil. Like, it's getting pretty bad. Let me hold up. Well, we were at that point of like, hey, this is possibly going to break at some point. We've only been running it almost every day for 8 years, so we really need to pay attention here in case something goes on. And sure enough, almost as if you speak of the devil, here it comes, something breaks, and we're out. But that's the consequence of business, guys. You're playing a game of gambling. And sometimes you pull the right card, sometimes you don't. It's all about lean operations, just in time, inventory, and making things happen. So luckily we squeaked by on this one, and he didn't have to pay the consequences, nor did we too badly. So we're thankful for that. We're blessed for that. But and also just blessed to have the means to be able to do what we do every day and impact people's lives, change people's days, make people happy. So that's what we love doing the most. But with that story, we're going to wrap it up here. My question for you, question of the day, I'd like to drop these in. What's something that y'all look back at and think, wow, that was dumb. Why did I do that? Why did I wait this long? What happened here? So drop that in the comments below. I'd love to see those, respond to you guys, and just get a community chat going there for you. And last but not least, I'm going to be shouting out people on social. Depending on if you are dropping comments, I'll definitely be shouting you out, tagging you, probably putting your bio up on the screen here. So do drop me a comment. Do drop me a question. I'd love to answer questions here on the show. And if nothing else, I'd love to just get involved with you guys in any way possible. So we're going to try and do this as long as we can. Speaking of social media, if you don't follow us on Facebook, if you don't follow us on Instagram, this will be on YouTube, so watch it. This is where you should be watching it, hopefully. And none else. We got a Twitter too, so check out our website if you need to for all of our information. Stay up to date, fatbacksbbq.com. You can order online. We've got delivery. We've got pickup, drive-through, which is super speedy. We try and put it out faster than Chick-fil-A, so sometimes we don't quite get that. We're a barbecue restaurant at the end of the day. But yeah, so super excited to be here with y'all, and glad that you have joined me, especially if you've watched this far. This is just the beginning, guys, and I know it might be a real small start at the beginning, but I think that we got a good potential to go somewhere. And maybe we don't. Maybe I'm out of time, and maybe I'll hang it up. We'll see. But I'll be back with y'all soon, whatever the case might be. Until then, y'all stay cool, y'all stay safe, stay warm, and last of all, stay happy. Make sure you're happy in what you're doing every day. Until then, I'll see you.